I'm Melanie Curry with Aravaipa, and would you each like to introduce yourselves? Starting with Ed, I guess. We'll start on that end.
My name is Ed Ettinghausen, also known as the Jester.
Joe Fejes.
Kristina Pham.
Melanie Rabb.
And they're all going to be participating in our 2016 Desert Solstice tomorrow, so that's very exciting. Would you each just kind of like to walk us through some of your personal goals to just get the ball rolling? Do you want to start again, Ed?
Sure. Well, my personal goal is to PR both the 100 and the 24-hour. My PR was Desert Solstice in 2013, 1450, 100, and 144.6, 24. And my number one goal is to position myself to where I can get on Team USA for 24-hour Worlds next year in Ireland.
For me, I think the goal is 189 miles, which is the world record. I think that would break YK.
Shooting a little low there, aren't you, Joe?
You gotta go big, right?
All right.
And then if that doesn't work out, I would go for a PR in the 24, which is I did 156 a few years ago in my younger days. Here. And really though, I'm not confidence-wise really not in as good of condition as I had hoped to be. So we'll see what pans out, but
he said that before, and then he's just psyching us out.
Anyway, I'm gonna hang back and check out Ed for a few hours, and then hopefully move my way up.
He does get the best outfit award all the time.
I'll work on that.
My main goal is to take some of the American age group records on the track for short distances. So I think it's 20. My husband's the numbers guy. I just run. I think it's like the 20K, 20 mile, 30K, and 50K. And then if I feel good, I'll keep going. But last year we saw, I blanked on his name now. The last time I was out there trying to run 100 miles fast, there was somebody who was taking all these little short age group records, and I was like, man, that looks like a lot more fun than this. So I thought I'd try that this year and see how it goes. So
Mark, I think his name is Mark.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was in 60.
Fast.
Yeah.
That guy's super fast, and he's 60. Crazy.
So I really want to get a 145. I feel like that's completely doable, but 24 hours is a long time to stay focused and things happen, and hopefully I'll get more than that. But if I get over 140, I'm going to be pretty excited. This will be my third go at a 24-hour, a real solid go. So we'll see.
Awesome. And all four of you have come to Desert Solstice before, couple more times than others. What has kept you coming back to this race? What's special for it about you, or special about it for you?
For me, the organization is as far as being able to put up big numbers. Aravaipa does a wonderful job, with giving the runners everything we need, and weather is usually very good. Could be a little warm sometimes in the afternoon. We've had, the year I did the 156, it was almost hypothermia with cold rain. But I actually prefer the cooler weather than the heat. But it's just a great setup to get big miles, and the track, the support, the volunteers that come out. It's one of my top favorite races by far.
So this is where everything's at.
I like the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's just so positive. Everyone's encouraging the other competitors, the other crews, and all the organizers, everyone. It's not so much about beat the person, it's just about what can you do, and let's do it. And that just feels good to me. So.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is I've kind of witnessed over the years is sometimes you'll tend to run in like a little pack, and you just all get into one rhythm together, whether it's like 2 or 3 of you, or it kind of ebbs and flows from there.
The train. Woohoo!
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Like, I don't, I mean, you should always, I guess, be running for yourself, but it feels like this event is much more like it's just about you, and all the other competitors out there are super supportive, and we see each other like constantly. But people are all just constantly saying, "You've got this. You can do it. Keep it up." So that's a really nice environment to be running in.
For me, it's an honor to be on the track with such elite athletes, like this guy sitting right next to me here. And it's a real, just a privilege. I did the very first Desert Solstice, which was on Nardini Manor, 500-meter track, and this was 2010. And then they had qualifications to make it an invitational, and I didn't qualify. So when I eventually got to the point where I did a sub 17-hour 100, it's like, yes, now I can go back. So this will be my 5th year here. And I just
You've been
really...
joining us for the last few years.
Yeah, 13, 14, 15, yeah, this will be, from 2013 on. So, so I think I've probably had the most experience of anybody on that particular course. Not that it means anything. I've just been there more times than anybody else. But it's just...
the turns better.
Pardon?
You know the turns.
I do.
Yeah.
I know it's, I don't live here, but I have kind of the hometown advantage, and I know the course so well.
Might have spent as much time on that track as a lot of the students who train there.
Yeah, when you add it all up, probably.
Yeah, probably beat 'em by now.
5 times, 4 times.
5 24-hour segments.
Yeah, exactly.
And so kind of going into your different experiences you've had on the track. I mean, it is a 400-meter high school track, 24 hours. What's the mental game for all of you with that? Like, do you use something to help combat that, or do you zone out more than you do in other races?
I really enjoy the 400-meter track logistics and getting in a rhythm, being able to see, hey, I'm doing, whatever your split is, you just get into a rhythm of checking out the monitor coming by, and the race is often, for any 24, it's you expect 12 hours into it, 30% of the runners are going to drop. 16 hours into it, there's going to be another 20% of the runners that are going to drop, and it just really depends on what group are you going to be in, and that's what, to me, a lot of times makes the 24 an exciting race, is by looking to see what you're running for yourself, but at the same time you're keeping an eye on what everybody else is doing, and you start seeing somebody sitting down a little bit more than they should, start seeing somebody throw ups, and the telltale signs are often there of what's going to happen. So
I love the mental aspects of it, the strategy and the psychology of the competition. The one part I don't like, which I experienced last year, was I had the American 50 to 54 age record for 200K and 24-hour. And my buddy Bob Hearn, who had just entered that age division, was out there on the track. And I knew he was gunning for me. And I couldn't compete with him. I was just hoping that he wouldn't be able to break my record. And to for 24 hours watch slowly, loop by loop, your record actually go down. That's heartbreaking. So I'm coming back this year to get that back, and Bob's going to be there too. So, and Joe's in our age category too. So we've got some real 50 to 54 competition going on there.
Yeah, I think all the participants this year are 30 years old or above. So it's kind of like a cool crowd.
Yeah, we're mature ones. Yeah.
I thought it was funny last year because you asked, like, where do you go or what do you do? Someone posted on Facebook after the race a picture of a metal cat. I think it was Pete running by a metal cat. Oh. And I was like, there's a metal cat on the track? Like, I did 100 miles on that loop and never saw the metal cat. And so we drove by the track today and I was like, there's that metal cat. So I don't know where my mind goes, but it goes somewhere. It's gone. I don't know. I think I noticed the palm trees, the mountains.
The Christmas tree?
No, just the palm trees. Like when you're running around, you can see palm trees because there's not.
I don't think there's
not palm trees in
Texas. It's your hallucinations there.
Could be.
They're there.
Those are other
sure they are.
stories.
But I don't know. I guess for me, it's kind of just like a zone out and run. Like kind of Joe had said, you try to run as much as you can and really find some sort of rhythm, as slow as it might end up or whatever, and stick with it. So, not much noticing.
Okay. And then let's see what else. Before we get to see if there's any questions that anyone's commented yet, Joe, did you want to take us through some of your fun predictions?
Well, I always try to
Prognostications.
try to make some educated guesses on who's going to do what, and
Hold on. Let me give you that $20 I promised you.
that's right.
Pull me up in the ranks.
But you just never know what's going to happen in a race. The distance that we're doing. But I do think John Cash is he really is a tough 24-hour runner. I think with the experience he's gained at Vol State multi-day, he's going to be looking to put up a big number. So. And then you've got the women that I think it's going to be an exciting, 4 or 5 women that are going to be right there. So
yeah, they're all competing for the same spots.
Exactly. So it's going to be a lot of competition. But you look back and somebody's going to have the stomach issues. Somebody's going to fall off. They might be going for 150 miles and they fall off pace at a certain having a low spot. And once they fall underneath that, they may give up after 16 hours or whatever. You just never know. So yeah, it'll be exciting.
Do any of you have any advice for maybe someone who's interested in viewing or whatever that wants to get into something like this, like the 24-hour?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Find another sport.
Yeah, I think it's. I think I started out, doing maybe a 12-hour and working my way up. But I think that the timed events really is a little bit different mindset than doing, point A to point B or fixed, distance. But it just really is a great time to be able to, run with. Other people, seeing them and just really examining what's going on in the competition, from start to finish. Whereas if you're on a, running 100-mile point to point, you may not see too many people, and so it's just a little bit different feel. So I think just encourage anybody to get out there and see what if they like it or not. And sometimes it'll take several races to really get an appreciation for the recipe of what you need to do in order to do well in it, because I think it is a little bit different animal.
Okay.
I agree with Joe. It's a different sport. 100-mile trail racing and time loop events, they're just different. It's the same activity, putting one foot in front of the other, doing as fast as you can, but it's just, and you'll find that certain people, they have a preference. I prefer the time loop event. I cut my teeth on that. My very first ultra was a 24-hour event, and my second ultra was another 24-hour event, and my third ultra was a 100-mile, and it was Buckeye out of Nordini Manor, and it was also on that loop. So I've done a ton of those. Joe and I did a 6-day race on a quarter-mile track inside of a tent in Alaska, and so.
That was like an evil science.
Did you sign up for a psychology experiment? You didn't know that?
That's what I think. Well, Joe's the one that put the thing together. So.
Yeah, I mean, just having that artificial light for 6 days is indoors.
The air that was
yeah.
but it was fun. It was different. But
no, I mean, and to me, there's just nothing boring with people think you're going to be running around for 24 hours on a track, but time does usually move quick.
It doesn't get boring either.
No.
I've not ever thought this is boring. I've thought I'm so tired. Why am I so It's nothing boring.
Yeah, but like any other ultra, you do go through a range of emotions where you're gonna have your low spots and then you're gonna have your high spots, and that's one thing that's fascinating to me is sometimes 3 or 4 in the morning you'll wake up and feel like running. But then there's other times when you're like, well, why the hell am I out here? You're running around. So it works both ways.
I would encourage though anyone to definitely give it a shot. In the first 24-hour event I did, that was my first thought. It was on a 1-mile loop, And I thought, that just sounds so boring, coming from a marathoner doing point-to-point or loop race, or a one large loop. It just wasn't appealing at all. But when I did the very first one, I found out that it really is a very fun, exciting event, and there's factors that you have control over. You know exactly where your gear is. You see it every mile, or in this case every quarter mile. You have your crew there. All the factors that you don't have control over in a trail race, you actually have those. You can't control the weather, but other than that, you have a lot more control. And it's just a really, really fun event. So I would encourage anybody, give it a shot. You might find it grows on you.
You know, one other thing with the 24 is, time doesn't translate directly to if you're running a fast 50K or a fast 100K or even a fast 100 mile. There's a difference in running, meaning that you can run a 13, 14 hour 100, you still have 10 hours left. And there's a lot of fast 100 mile or 100K or even 50 mile runners that have issues oftentimes with running the full 24 hours. So it really isn't apples to apples, though it helps to have a lot of raw leg speed that we've seen. Not that we don't have leg speed, but
ours kicks in after like 15 hours.
That's right.
You just need a 15-hour warm-up.
That's it.
That's all.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So-
It's a 9-hour race with a 15-hour warm-up.
Guess that's kind of true. Starts around 15
Well, the race
hours.
begins about at that point, doesn't it? People falling
does.
off, and you're kind of counting on those rabbits going out. You're going, just give them time, give them time.
Yeah, I remember just one memory, the year that I did the 156. I remember, I think Pam Smith she was either right in front of me at 100 miles or right after me. Same thing with Jace Smithberger. I mean, he was ahead of me by quite some distance. And you get to the 100 mile and you're looking, are they going to keep going?
Oh yeah.
Keep going. Jay,
Please stop,
Jay,
please stop.
You going and you're just wondering what they're going to say, and it works both ways. But I remember, with yours, I mean,
Last year.
last year, we were trying to get you to go.
No.
And we're like, no.
But you're still walking, off the track.
So I mean, it really is pretty neat to the mindset that if you're going in there thinking, okay, I'm gonna run a hard 100 miles, and then if I feel good, I'm gonna continue going. It ain't happening. If you're not all in about going that distance, it ain't happening. So.
That's true. You have to be ready, and you have to think. It's good to break it up, but if you think 100 and then this, no, you just think you're going 24 hours, and first you get to 100, you're going 24 hours, and first he's like, I don't know.
It's like hitting a different aid station,
Right.
It's a point on the course.
Right, it's not, yeah.
I think mentally, some of the multi-day races that I've done, the 6-day races, and that actually help out a little bit in the grasping, okay, 24 hours, it's not that bad. It's not as far, But, I mean, there will be times tomorrow when I'm going to tell myself, well, why the hell am I out here? This sucks. I want to get off. I want to stop. And you just got to understand.
I'm looking
that's
for
part
that
of-
till I can say, Joe, you're looking bad, man. You need to just drop out, buddy.
That's
You're not
right.
looking good.
There'll be some.
And that vulnerable point.
That's right. There'll definitely be some head games played with with other runners. So.
All right, we do have a couple questions here that people have been commenting with. One of them is from John Campbell. What's the biggest mistake you've made in a 24-hour?
Signing up?
I think it's just like whether it's a 5K, 10K, it's always going out too fast. It's the majority of the time. Sometimes the other thing that I have encountered is not eating or drinking in the beginning.
Do any of you have any races you're looking forward to in 2017? Just to kind of cap this panel off.
I usually do about 15 to 20 hundreds a year, so I've got a whole bunch on the agenda. But my next one after this is across the year, so that does go into 2017. That starts
this
the
and next year.
yeah. So
me, I really like to try to get y'all to stay out for one more day here, and try to, I would love to have a 48-hour around the track. Other than that, I've been scouring, trying to find the perfect venue for another 6-day race indoors, and I've got a place that I think might work out. So we'll see. That probably won't be into 2018.
Okay.
But kind of excited about that as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Crown King. I told myself it's the last year to go back and try to break the record. So we'll see. And then going back to sky racing. Looking forward to that. So.
If I don't get to go to Ireland, I'm hopefully that's my goal right now.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't pan out, I'm going back to something nice and simple like 100. And I want to go for a fast 100, which I actually wanted to do before I ever tried 24 hours. So I sort of skipped over that. Never really trained for 100. I trained for 100 Ks and then switched to 24 hours without having that middle. So if I'm unsuccessful in the goal of Ireland, then I'm going to spend next year focusing on a fast 100.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see. I don't see any more that have at least refreshed for me. So I think we're good for today.
All right.
Thank you.
Everyone was saying, good luck tomorrow, and wishing you guys the best of luck. So.
Awesome.